Hello, everybody. How's it going? Dishnet 34, Rob Tomlinson. There. I'm on the stream. I'm on the stream. There we go. There we go. Holy cow. Yeah, that's what happens when you leave the Twitch tab open sometimes. How's it going, everybody? Dishnet 34 here, welcoming you to this week's episode of This Week in Perfect Team, episode number 228 for Baseball Reference Series 4, Part 1. That's right, I am back after about a week and a half off or so, 2 weeks? Almost 2 weeks. Oh my goodness, it is great to be back. Man, I tell ya, I've had a couple of great I had a couple of great weekends these last couple of weekends. Like, holy cow. What a man, oh man, oh man. It's great to be back, but man, oh man, I am just, whew. Last weekend was just absolutely exciting, you know, being down in North Carolina, doing some broadcasting down there for the World Baseball Softball Confederation and USA Baseball. That was fun. Got to meet some friends down there, all that good stuff. Man, oh man, it was just a fun weekend. Just an absolutely fun weekend. Did I take my shirt off and wave around your head like a helicopter? No. It wasn't quite like that. But I did somehow stumble into a singles night at a barcade. That's a whole different story for another time. But did I eat any good North Carolina barbecue? Oh my goodness. About that. I didn't really have a whole lot of time, to be quite honest, so I unfortunately didn't make it out to any barbecue places, but I at least know one or two that I really want to try next time I'm down in that area. I know that there's a couple places I really want to try next time I get down to that area, but I did have some good food down there. Nonetheless, I really had some really great food. I actually hit up a lobster place at the Morgan Street Food Hall in Raleigh. Oh, that was some really good stuff. That was some really, really good stuff. Oh man, but you know what? Another big thing that I'm just extremely happy about, all right, is that, you know, the Tigers, the Detroit Tigers, my team, got probably the best play-by-play guy in the business today. Jason Benetti joining the broadcast booth. Oh my God. Like, if there was one guy that I would have loved to have in the Tigers booth, it would have been that guy right there. Just a great broadcaster, just a fantastic person. Like, oh my goodness, for TV. And then Dan Dickerson filling in for the TV when he's on his national assignments. And oh my goodness. Like, look, Matt Shepard is a good guy, all right? But just unfortunately was not cut out for baseball, unfortunately, which is a shame because Shep is a good guy, all right? But man, oh man, just a massive upgrade in the Tigers booth. Like, oh my goodness. This is like the best acquisition the Tigers have made in like 10 years. Like, this was like on the level of like the Prince Fielder trade back in like 2012 or something. Like, this is that big of a deal for Tigers fans right here. The best acquisition since then, I think. But man, oh man, oh man. I could go on forever about all the stuff that's gone down. But you know, okay, I heard some more talk about barbecue in the live chat. I have had KC barbecue before. It was very good. I had Joe's in Kansas City. Oh my goodness, that was so good. That was so good. Oh man. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the action today. We have a lot to go over today. And first things first, we want to acknowledge Perfect Team Live here real quick because full season rewards are coming very soon to those who participated in PT Live and did very well throughout the whole season. First place, 1,000 standard packs, which is just absolutely insane. 640 standard packs for second place, 480 for third and fourth, 280 for fifth through 10th, 11th through 100th getting 80, 101st through 200th getting 40 packs. The standings have been determined for that, and they will be posted on the Discord and forums at the end of the stream, and the payouts for those rewards will take place tomorrow. So for those of you who did some PT Live this year, did really well in it, we got some great prizes coming your way. And, you know, we learned a little bit. We learned a lot with Perfect Team Live this year, not going to lie. And we're hoping to, and the team is definitely hoping to improve on it for next season. 100%. All right. Some big stuff coming up this weekend. Some big stuff coming up this weekend. I know Paul talked about it on the stream on Monday, and that is that Perfect Team Championship Series number 7 is this Saturday. That's right, the 7th Perfect Team Championship Series will occur on Saturday, November 11th. Hey, that's 48 hours from now, beginning at noon Eastern with finals coverage on the Out of the Park Development Twitch channel. And once again, the top 128 teams from the PTCS period from October 2nd through November 5th in each of the 10 eligible formats will participate in the PTCS. Players will get points based on how they finish in the PTCS, and the top 64 teams in the second 5 Perfect Team Championship Series 6 through 10 will go to the Perfect Team Master Series. First place through 32nd place in each PTCS will get a brand new PTCS exclusive card depending on how they finish, and like the Perfect Team Master Series, players will get all cards below their finish as well, if applicable. So let's talk about those formats here really quickly. And once again, I know Paul went over those a little bit. All these formats will have a 1919 run environment with no designated hitter. Games will be played at Braves Field in Boston. Iron through Open is going to be Max Boom with only the cards from that level. So Iron is only Iron, Bronze is only Bronze, Silver is only Silver, etc., etc. Open is an, open tournament. Then we have the wild card. We have Max Boom with Unsung Heroes, Snapshot, and Rookies only. Rookie Sensations only in that tournament, eligible for that tournament. So a little bit of a correction from what was shown on Monday. And I know Nico talked a little bit about that in the Discord, a little bit on the forums as well. Weekly tournaments, it's going to be a Max Boom 1750 cap as the tournament format there. And as for the Perfect Draft Daily and Perfect Draft Weekly, we will have the nearly perfect Diamond to Perfect Draft with limited edition cards available and all cards eligible to be drafted. So some fun stuff coming up this Saturday for PTCS, and I'll be here to take it through you. I'll be here to take you through it all live for the finals. Beginning, I would say around 6:30, 6:30-ish, maybe. Depends on some timing stuff. Max Boom, I believe that is up until, oh gracious, boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 baby, got that super bass. I believe it's 1979. 1979 is the max year on those cards. Alrighty, so fun stuff coming up for PTCS. Alright, so real quick before we get to our cards here today, let's talk about the limited edition cards that are currently still out there in packs. We have John Hiller, Matt Holliday, and the new Silver King still in packs right now. 60 out of the 197 overall John Hiller cards have been pulled, so there's still 40 available as of about 11 a.m. Eastern or so. As for Matt Holliday, the 90 overall 2007 Rocky, 46 out of those 100 have been pulled. 54 more still left in packs. And then the 100 overall Silver King, who is anything but a silver. Nobody has pulled him yet. Could you maybe be the first to pull Silver King? Who knows? Who knows? Still 25 of those puppies left available. And you know what? There's 3 limited edition cards on the screen right now. How about we add a 4th to that list? We have in packs right now, 96 overall, left-handed starter, Mike Hampton from the 1999 Houston Astros 100 copy limited edition card. 74 stuff, 125 movement, 116 homer rating, 97 pitching BABIP, and 81 control. Some very good splits here, very close on the splits. 98 pitcher BABIP against right, 96 against left. Kind of more of a movement guy than he is a stuff and control guy. He's got a lot of stamina too. Really good at holding runners as well. He's a ground ball guy, 90 to 92 miles an hour. Fastball, curveball, changeup, sinker, and cutter on his repertoire. 1999 season for Mike Hampton. Oh my goodness gracious. What a year this guy had in Houston. 22-4 record, a 2.90 ERA, 6.7 strikeouts per 9, 3.8 walks per 9, and a 3.64 FIP. Finished second in National League Cy Young voting. He was an all-star. He was a Silver Slugger as well. So this kind of fits a little bit into our theme today of historical award winners, like we will have with our Baseball Reference 4 set. He led the NL in wins and home runs per 9. He gave up only a handful of homers that year. I believe it was only... He gave up only 12 home runs in 239 innings pitched that year, which is not a lot, all things considered, given the era that he pitched in, which is fantastic. 6.7 wins above replacement, the highest in his career. But you know, it would not be a Mike Hampton card if we did not highlight his hitting ability, because the dude could absolutely swing the stick. 89 BABIP, 77 power, 43 avoid K, 85 contact, 75 gap, and 40 on the eye, with a bit of a heavy emphasis on his versus left stats right here. 92 BABIP, 92 homer power, 40 avoid K, 91 contact, 79 gap, and 57 on the eye. Dude hit 311 with 3 doubles, 3 triples, and 10 RBI during the 1999 season. Phew! That's just insane right there. And I know he didn't even hit any homers in 1999, but you know what? You have to respect the power on Mike Hampton. I mean, the dude hit 7 home runs. Granted, it's in Colorado, but that in a couple of years later. But the dude hit home runs like later on in his career here. Like a couple years later, 2001 Colorado, we hit 7 homers, 3 homers the following year in Colorado. The dude won 5 straight Silver Sluggers for a reason. And that was a main reason why. Mike Hampton, 96 overall, 100 copy limited edition card is in packs right now. So maybe you could be the first to grab this beautiful Mike Hampton card right here. All right, folks. And of course, you know, we talk a lot about Mike Hampton's prowess at the plate. But you know who also has really good stuff, some really good, you know, abilities in terms of baseball? That, my friends, is Stathead Baseball, powered by Baseball Reference. And you can use code 23 OOTP25 for $25 off an annual baseball or all sport subscription. Oh my goodness, Stathead Baseball, you know, one of my favorite things on the baseball interwebs, as the kids call it, you know, you can plug in like any sort of like parameters you want, and it'll spit out some information for you. Like, that's just absolutely fantastic stuff. And you can take advantage of this service as well. If you use code 23OTP25 at checkout, $25 off annual baseball or all sports subscription. And like I said before, it's not just for baseball. It's for basketball. It's for football. It's for hockey. You know, NHL season just getting started. Franchise Hockey Manager 10 recently releasing, which congratulations to the FHM guys, by the way, on the launch of their 10th version of the game. Kudos to y'all on that. You know, you can use that for a lot of things with hockey as well. So, offer expires December 31st, 2023. Less than 2 months to take advantage of this, guys. If you have not, what are you waiting for? Get on that today. Save $25 off. Code 23OOTP25 at checkout. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get into today's content. It is Baseball Reference Series 4, and this particular series is focusing on some historical award winners because, you know, it is award season in Major League Baseball right now. There's a lot of discussion about, you know, who's going to win the AL Cy Young, NL Cy Young, Rookie of the Year. This is one of the greatest times of the year for baseball awards and all that good stuff. And, you know, we thought we might as well, you know, celebrate this a little bit with some historical award winners. We have 20 cards in this first set. We're going to show you half of those cards here today in this particular set. So, let's start our journey through our 10 cards here today. And we're going to start with a guy who is a bit of a record setter in terms of the shortstop position and in terms of defense. Because, I mean, this guy was a fantastic defender in his career. Maybe not the greatest hitter in the world, obviously. I mean, this guy has only like maybe 1 or 2 abilities that you will see that are even in the green colors on these bars. But man, oh man, there's going to be a lot of blue on the defense here today. Ladies and gentlemen, the guy who has the National League record for consecutive errorless games at shortstop, it is 66 overall from the 1999 New York Mets. It is Rey Ordonez. Rey Ordonez, 51 BABIP, 4 power, 83 avoid K, 52 contact, 58 gap power, 53 I. But you know what? You don't want to take a look at those batting stats. No. Ignore the stuff that you see at the top there, and look to your left. Look at that defense. Look at that defense. 106 range, 105 error, 104 arm, 100 on the turn double play. Whoo! This guy is going to be something else in bronze tournaments at shortstop. Holy cats, this guy is going to get to damn near every ball in existence. My goodness gracious. Rey Ordonez, I mean, the speed, stealing, and base running, not quite there, but you know what? The defense, oh boy, that defense. It is there. 1999 season for Rey Ordonez. He was a National League Gold Glove recipient over at shortstop, the 3rd season in his career where he won the Gold Glove. Hit just 258, 319, 317 with just 1 dinger, 60 RBI, a 64 OPS plus, but man, oh man. 4 defensive wins above replacement, which is, you know, the highest of his career for what it's worth. Led MLB in that category. And it was only one of 3 seasons that Ray Ordonez ever had in his career where he was above 1 defensive win above replacement, which I found like fascinating, like very fascinating. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, he set the National League record with 101 straight errorless games at shortstop between the 1999 season and a little bit into the 2000 season. So that's pretty good stuff right there. And in terms of his stats here, Ray Ordonez, let's compare Ray Ordonez to another guy that I've seen in the chat here a little bit. The Browns' Ozzie Smith. Ray Ordonez, obviously better defense than the Bronzy card, but definitely much worse on the hitting. So a little bit of a trade-off if you want to upgrade from Bronzy, or at least if you want to change from Bronzy. Definitely you're not going to get much of the bat, but you're going to get some trade-off with the defense. All right. This is a pretty good card for bronze tournaments. Honestly, I might use him if I ever get into a bronze tournament. Either way, Ray Ordonez from the 1999 New York Mets is in Perfect Team 24. Alrighty, next up, let's talk about a couple of silver cards. A couple of silver cards in this set. And you know, when I saw this guy's name first off, I had no clue who this guy was. But apparently, this guy has been heralded, and I mean absolutely heralded, by more than a few outlets as possibly the best defensive first baseman of all time, just consistently, or at least one of the best defenders at first base of all time. And I had never heard of this guy before. He never got into the Hall of Fame because he didn't play enough. And apparently there was something called an all-time Gold Glove team that he was a part of as well, which I am just shocked that even exists. I didn't even know it existed before I looked this up. But either way, this next guy is in Perfect Team 24 right now, and that, my friends, is 72 overall first baseman from the 1970 Los Angeles Dodgers. It is Wes Parker. Wes Parker, 96 BABIP, 46 power, 98 avoid K, 104 contact, 99 gap power, and 75 on the eye. This guy has some very interesting splits here. He's got a little bit more power against lefties as a switch hitter. This guy is a switch hitter, folks. 98 BABIP against righties, about 101 gap power against righties, 83 I against righties as well. But this guy has some pretty decent defense, all things considered. First base, he can play some left field, center field, and right field as well. 87 range, 80 error, 82 arm, and 83 turn double play on the infield. In the outfield, he's got 78 range, 75 error, and 69 on the arm. Man, oh man, Wes Parker, I've never even heard of this guy before. Not really the greatest power hitter at first base. Like, you wouldn't think of like a contact slap hitting guy as a good first baseman, but the dude hit .319 with 10 homers, 111 RBI, 47 doubles in the 1970 season. And of course, why is he in this set? Well, he won a Gold Glove in the 1970 season, and he finished actually 5th place in National League MVP voting. Now, I want to take a look at some stuff here because I've never heard of an all-time Gold Glove team. Like, I need to find this up. All-time Gold Glove team. Okay. So apparently Rawlings did this thing in 2007 to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Gold Glove Awards. And they held a worldwide fan base debate dubbed the Summer of Glove, which that is a fantastic name. Nearly 1 million fans cast votes. And this was in 2007, by the way. And selected the 9 best defensive players over the past 50 years. So you got guys like Greg Maddux as the pitcher on this team, Johnny Bench as the catcher, Joe Morgan at second base, Brooks Robinson at third base, Ozzie Smith at shortstop, Willie Mays, Roberto Clemente, Ken Griffey Jr. in the outfield. And then at first base, you got some guy named Wes Parker who took home 53% of the vote. Like, who the hell's this guy? But you know what? Looking at him a bit more, this guy, pretty darn good. Pretty darn good as a defender over the years. He did have some seasons below average in terms of defensive wins above replacement. 1970, he was just even on defensive WAR, which I guess is good for first baseman. Probably. But this guy, pretty darn good. Guy won 6 gold gloves. 6 straight gold gloves over at first base between 67 and 72. So you know what? More power to him. So there you go. Wes Parker from the 1970 LA Dodgers. Bit of a contact hitting guy. Pretty decent defender at 4 positions. He is in perfect team 24. Alrighty. Next up. Let's talk about another silver. And this guy, has a bit of an insane eye on him. Like, when you see the eye stat, you will know why I put him in this list. Because, oh my God, it's like the one thing that stands out about this guy, other than his versus right-hand power as well. Ladies and gentlemen, from the 1965 Baltimore Orioles, it is 1965 American League Rookie of the Year, Curt Blefary. 74 BABIP, 87 power, 75 avoid K, 93 contact, 84 gap power, and 121 I. 121 I overall. 124 against lefties, 120 against righties. Holy cow. Wow. I mean, this guy's versus righties stats here. All right, let's analyze those for a little bit here. 74 BABIP, 92 power, 84 void K, 98 contact, 85 gap, 120 on the eye. Guys, this is a pretty sneaky, decent power and eye guy in right field in silver. Like, this guy is just absolutely insane here. He also has a little bit of defense out there in the outfield. 62 range, 68 error, 72 on the arm. Can only play the corner outfield though. 77 in left, 69 in right. Honestly, I would probably put him in left field potentially. If anything, if anything. But 1965 for Curt Blefary. Let's talk about this 1965 season. 260 average. Okay. Ho-hum. Yada, yada. 381 on base. 381 on base percentage. That is a 15.7% walk rate for this guy. And this was his rookie year. This was his rookie year in 1965. Played 144 games for the Orioles. And this was his highest single season total on base percentage in his career. And just kind of, was in the 330, 340, 320 range the rest of his career. But this guy could definitely get on base. 100%. He was the 1965 American League Rookie of the Year. 260, 381, 470, 22 homers, 70 RBI, and a 159 OPS plus. Career high 88 walks that year. And after the 1965 season, the Orioles were in discussions with the Cincinnati Reds to grab Frank Robinson via trade. And Bleffery's name was actually one of the guys that was discussed in those deals. But the Orioles liked Bleffery too much, and they decided to keep him. And they selected another guy to send along to Cincinnati for Frank Robinson. And Bleffery was a major contributor to the 1966 World Series championship the Orioles had. So pretty good stuff there. Curt Bleffery from the 1965 Baltimore Orioles is in Perfect Team 24. Awesome stuff there for Curt Bleffery. Let's talk about the gold. Let's talk about gold card. Let's talk about a gold card. And, people like gold cards, right? People like their gold cards. I do know that for certain. This guy, pretty good. This one's going to have a pretty good pitcher BABIP. Some pretty decent control. Almost a Boom Boom Beckian kind of pitcher here. At least in the profile here as well. Our next guy comes to us from the 1968 New York Yankees. And that is right-handed starter, 88 overall, Stan Bonson. Stan Bonson, the 1968 American League Rookie of the Year, 58 stuff, 112 movement, 102 homer rating, 100 pitcher BABIP, and 90 control. Some very interesting splits here. A lot better against righties than he is against lefties, but let's take a look at these splits here. 60 stuff against righties, 107 homer rating, 103 pitcher BABIP, 91 control against righties. And against lefties, he's got 56 stuff, 106 movement, 92 homer rating, 97 pitcher BABIP, 89 control. This is a pretty decent pitcher for you guys. Fly ball guy too. A fly ball guy too, so put a pretty good defense behind him in the outfield. This guy could be pretty solid as a gold pitcher type here. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup on his pitching repertoire. 84 stamina, 62 on the hold runners. 1968 season for Stan Bonson. He played for several teams in his career. Started out with the Yankees. And this guy, really made an impact on that Yankees rotation in 1968. Even though, they didn't make the postseason that year. He went 17-12, 2.05 ERA, 5.5 strikeouts per nine, 2.3 walks per nine, and a 1.40 ERA plus. He led the 68 Yankees in ERA and strikeouts as well. He had 162 of them that year. Yeah, and this guy was drafted out of the University of Nebraska by the Yankees in the 4th round back in 1965. He actually got his first call up to the majors in 1966. Only went 1-1 with a 3.52 ERA in 4 games. Earned a spring invite in 1967, but was assigned to AAA. And then after arriving at camp late due to an Army commitment, he was given a second chance at a roster spot in 1968, and he made the most of it. So pretty good stuff there for Stan Bonson. Like I mentioned, this is kind of a Boom Boom Beckian profile. Maybe just a bit of a higher overall, though. So something to keep in mind if you're building your gold teams here. This could be a decent option for those of you who have some good defenses, some good outfield defense particularly. Well, I'm curious to see how Bonson would play in a gold tournament. So there you go. Stan Bonson from the 1968 New York Yankees. He is in Perfect Team 24. All right, we have a couple of diamonds to show off for you today. Couple of diamond cards to show off for you. And this guy, we've talked a little bit about some of the more past guys. We talked about, Ray Ordonez, Curt Bleffery, Wes Parker. Those guys were back in the 1900s. Let's go to someone a little bit more recent. Because this guy has been one of the main spark plugs for the recent Atlanta Braves renaissance that they've had. This dude, you know, probably is going to maybe win a Silver Slugger at second base this year. But back in 2019 is when this guy won his first Silver Slugger at second base for the Atlanta Braves, and that is 91 overall second baseman from the 2019 Atlanta Braves. It is Ozzie Albies. 87 BABIP, 67 power, 82 avoid K, 98 contact, 112 gap power, and 55 on the eye. But folks, let's take a look at these splits here. This is a splitty guy. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. But man, oh man, look at those splits against lefties. Holy cats. 119 BABIP, 91 power, 86 avoid K, 134 contact, 98 gap, but just 41 on the eye. Defensively, he's got 85 range, 106 error, 80 on the infield arm, 93 on the turn double play, 59 speed, 94 stealing, 98 on the base running. Against righties, I'm not sure if you really want to play this guy against righties. 77 BABIP, 59 power, 80 avoid K, 86 contact, 117 gap, and 60 eye. But man, oh man, you put him against the lefty. You put this guy in against the lefty, he's going to rake. I mean, goodness gracious, this is just a frigging gulf of a split right here. Goodness gracious. So the dude is still a switch hitter for what it's worth. All right. Not sure if he's going to stay switch hitting though. I mean, I'm sure he's probably going to keep switch hitting more than likely. But this guy really broke out in 2019 for the Braves in what was pretty much his second full season in the bigs. I mean, he hit 24 homers in 2018, but this year hit 24 homers, but with a 295 average, 352 on base, 500 slugging, 86 RBI, a 113 OPS plus, which at that time was a career high for him, and 4.9 wins above replacement, which is still a career high for him to this day. He was the Silver Slugger Award at second base in the National League back in 2019. He was the first Atlanta second baseman to win the award, and he is, to this day, the youngest second baseman in MLB history to win an American League or National League Silver Slugger Award at the age of 22. I looked this up on StatHead, powered by Baseball Reference. And, you know, no one younger. There's only been one person younger than like 23, 24 that has won a Silver Slugger at second base in the years that it's been available since about 1980 or so. And that's this guy right here, Ozzie Albies, in 2019. Who would have thunk it? And you know what? He really deserved it that year. I mean, second base, normally a dearth of offense, all right? You don't get a whole lot of offense from second basemen historically in the league. But this guy has been, you know, one of the better offensive second basemen in Major League Baseball ever since he came into the league, which is something else to think about, really. I mean, this year he had 280, 33 homers, 109 RBI. He might be in line for his, what, would it be his second Silver Slugger? Third Silver Slugger over at second base. This guy has been raking his whole career. And against lefties in 2019, let's talk about this lefty. This lefty here. 389, 414, 685. His slash line against lefties in 2019. 11 homers, 33 RBI, and a 395 BABIP. That is absolutely insane. And his career numbers against lefties, if I can find his career splits against lefties here, you know, he's hitting a career 338, 364, 570 against lefties compared to 250, 311, 447 against righties. So this guy has been a lefty killer his whole career and really shows in his card from 2019 right here. Ladies and gentlemen, Ozzie Albies from the 2019 Atlanta Braves is in Perfect Team 24. And if you want to kind of compare Albies a little bit, if I can get my mouse to kind of cooperate here, Ozzie Albies, you know, you can kind of think of him maybe a little bit of a poor man's Baseball Reference, Ketel Marte, potentially. It's an interesting comparison there. Very, very interesting comparison right there. All right, next up, we got one more diamond to show off for you. We have a few diamonds in this set, but we're only showing you like a couple of them because the perfects, oh man, the perfect cards are just absolutely insane. All right. So the perfect cards, they're coming. Can't wait to show them to you. Our next guy, though, is another guy that, you know, I never really heard of before I did this set. And this guy, you know, I did not know that this guy actually played in the Negro Leagues and signed with the Dodgers a few years after Jackie Robinson did. And then he goes out his rookie year and absolutely dominates on the mound. So let's talk about the 1952 season for the Brooklyn Dodgers. And this guy, star pitcher on that team, ladies and gentlemen, the 1952 National League Rookie of the Year for the Brooklyn Dodgers. It is 99 overall, right-handed closer, Joe Black. Joe Black, 89 stuff, 104 movement, 92 homer rating, 104 pitcher BABIP, 92 control. Boy, oh boy, this guy, pretty darn good against right-handed batters. 89 stuff, 111 movement, 102 homer rating, 104 pitcher BABIP, 96 on the control. But this guy, some very interesting stamina as a reliever. 62 stamina, 62 on the hold runners. 86 on the fastball, 86 on the curveball. He's a fly ball guy. 95 to 97 on the velocity. Joe Black, you know, I never heard of this guy. Never heard of this guy, but, you know, when it comes to Negro League history, this guy actually had a little bit of a part in it. Because Joe Black actually helped the Baltimore Elite Giants of the Negro Leagues win 2 championships in 7 years. Back in, what was it, the 40s? I think it was back in the 40s. Yeah, back in the mid to late 40s there for the Elite Giants. And he and Jackie Robinson actually pushed for a pension plan for Negro League players and was instrumental in getting the plan to include retired players who had played in the Negro Leagues before 1944. So this guy, you know, a bit of a trailblazer in terms of, you know, workers' rights in the Negro Leagues a little bit. Played a year in the Brooklyn Dodgers minor league system, and they promoted him to the major leagues at 28 years old in 1952, and he goes out and pitches a 15-4 record with a 2.15 ERA. Only made a couple of starts that year. He was strictly coming out of the bullpen as a multi-inning guy. Racked up 15 wins, 15 saves, 5.4 strikeouts per 9, 2.6 walks per 9 as well. Third in NL MVP that year as well. And Joe Black, with his stat line that year, 15 wins and 15 saves, became just the second pitcher since integration with 15 or more wins and 15 or more saves. Thanks to StatHead, powered by Baseball Reference, for that statistic right there. And he also became the first black pitcher to win a World Series game Pretty cool stuff right there. He won the opener with a 6-hitter over Allie Reynolds 4-2 in Game 1 of that World Series in 1952. And Joe Black, he was pretty cool after baseball as well. He was a scout for the Senators. He actually appeared on The Cosby Show as a character as well. He was a board director of the baseball assistance team. Pretty cool guy. Pretty cool guy, this Joe Black. And he had a sensational first year in the big leagues, highlighted by this 1952 card right here. Yes, even before Newcomb. Even before Newcomb. This guy was pretty darn good. So there you go. Joe Black from the 1952 Brooklyn Dodgers is in. Perfect team. 24. All right, folks. It's time for some hundreds. Some hundreds coming up right here. We got 4 of them for you in this set overall. We're going to show you all 4 of those perfect cards. And we start off with a guy who is probably still sitting in that bullpen in Toronto in the 2016 American League wild card. But you know what? He had a great season despite that. Ladies and gentlemen, from the 2016 Baltimore Orioles, it is 100 overall left-handed closer, Zach Britton. Zach Britton from the Baltimore Orioles, his elite, and I mean elite, 2016 season. 125 stuff, 125 movement, 121 homer rating, 121 pitching BABIP, 76 control. Ooh. Ooh. Let's talk about these splits here, shall we? Because that's a lot of blue right there. 141 stuff against lefties, 128 movement, 125 homer, 128 pitching BABIP against lefties. I mean, we're filling out the bars right here for him in those categories. Darn near filling them out against righties too. 120 stuff, 122 movement, 120 homer rating, 115 pitcher BABIP. But the one thing that's probably going to bring him down a little bit is his control. You had 2.4 walks per 9 back in the 2016 season, but his control has been not great. Not great, really. I mean, he has 3.7 career walks per 9. His walk rate kind of went up into the 4s after the 2016 season. So this was actually his second best walks per 9 rate in his career, all things considered. He has a 97 on the whole runner, 16 stamina, extreme ground ball guy, 96 to 98. He can throw fastball, slider, curveball, sinker guy right here. 2016. Let's talk about this 2016 season for Zach Britton. And yes, it is spelled Z-A-C-K. Not Z-A-C-H, Z-A-C-K. 69 games for the 2016 Orioles. 67 innings pitched. 47 saves. A .54 ERA. 9.9 strikeouts per 9. 2.4 walks per 9 as well. He won the Mariano Rivera Award as the best relief pitcher in baseball, finished 4th in Cy Young voting, and was an All-Star. Actually finished 11th in MVP as well. And this year, he actually broke the major league record for lowest ERA as a pitcher with minimum of 50 innings pitched, .54 ERA. And from May 5th through the end of the season, he racked up just a .16 ERA. .16 ERA. Only gave up 1 run for like 5 months. Holy cow. Like, you rarely see that anymore. Man, I tell you, Zach Britton was an absolute beast. Absolute beast in 2016. I mean, he had what, a 33 he had 33 consecutive saves to start the season, which set an MLB record for most consecutive saves to start a season by a left-handed pitcher, 7th longest of all time to start a season. He set the MLB record for most consecutive relief appearances without allowing an earned run, which was 39 up to that point. My goodness, this guy was just absolutely insane. And yet Buck Showalter did not use him in the American League wild card in a tie game in the 11th inning. Honestly, Edwin would not have hit a home run off that guy. And yet Buck Showalter, somehow, some way, thought Ubaldo Jimenez, in the year of our Lord, 2016, was the best pitcher to use in that situation. I don't know, man. I don't know. But you know what? They gave Edwin Encarnacion to Sterling postseason. That is true, Tsweegi. That is true. So there you go. Zach Britton from the 2016 Orioles. He is in. Perfect Team 24. Pretty cool stuff right there, this Zach Britton card. Let's go now to the Rocky Mountains for our next card. Oh, man. You know, there haven't been a whole lot of award winners in Colorado in the franchise's history. So you can kind of narrow this down a little bit in terms of, okay, who is a good player for the Rockies? All right. So you can narrow this down a little bit to who we might have here. Because there have been some really great players. There have been some good players in Colorado history. But this guy is certainly one of them. And certainly, one of the best combinations of both power and defense that we have seen in the Rocky Mountains in recent memory. Ladies and gentlemen, from the 2019 Colorado Rockies, it is 100 overall third baseman Nolan Arenado. 95 BABIP, 121 power, 86 avoid K, 125 contact, 103 gap power, 75 on the eye. But folks, look at that defense right there. 105 range, 102 error, 104 arm, 102 turn double play. And folks, you will not need $50 million to get this guy right here. Against lefties, he's got 97 BABIP, 135 power, 83 avoid K, my bad, 129 contact, 94 gap power, 85 on the eye. Against righties, he's got 95 BABIP, 117 power, 87 avoid K, 124 contact, 106 gap power, and 72 on the eye. 2019 for Nolan Arenado was just absolutely fantastic. He won the Gold Glove and the Platinum Glove Award as the best overall defender in the National League. He was an all-star, finished 6th in National League MVP. He had career highs in on-base percentage and batting average this year, and he won his 7th straight Gold Glove this year in 2019. And during the year, hit a milestone home run, 200th career homer on May 25th against the Baltimore Orioles. How about that? So Nolan Arenado, 2019, defensively had 2.5 defensive wins above replacement, which is actually the second best mark in his career. Only behind his 2015 season, where he had 2.8 defensive WAR. But the offense was not quite there this year. This was kind of the best, best combination of offense and defense that he has had in his career. You could argue that 2022 was a good one as well, where he had 5.8 O WAR, 2.3 D WAR. But in 2019, 5.1 O WAR, 2.5 D WAR, which is a pretty decent balance right there. Pretty darn close to each other. 7.3 wins above replacement overall, second best mark of his career. 2019, he had a 312 BABIP, which was pretty good as well. So this guy, you know, very good defender, very good hitter. This guy is going to be something else right here. Nolan Arenado, 2019 Colorado Rockies. And if you want to make some comparisons here, Nolan Arenado, you can think of him maybe as a supercharged home run Baker, if that makes any sense. 31 more power, much better glove than the immortal season home run Baker, all things considered. Something to think about a little bit if you're looking at third base, trying to compare a little bit here. So there you go. Nolan Arenado from the 2019 Colorado Rockies is in Perfect Team 24. Alrighty, next up, we got two more. We got two more hundreds for you here today. And our next one comes to us from the pitcher's mound. Now, there have been a lot of great fielding pitchers. There have been a lot of great fielding pitchers over the years that the Gold Glove Award has been awarded. All right? This guy right here might be one of the best fielding pitchers of the 20th century. Right up there with guys like Greg Maddux and stuff like that. This guy won, like, how many Gold Gloves in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 in a row. 13, 14, 15, 16 overall Gold Gloves at the position. Ladies and gentlemen, from the 1966 Minnesota Twins, it is 100 overall, Jim Kaat. Jim Kaat, 72 stuff, 113 movement, 104 homer rating, 99 pitcher BABIP, 117 control. Oh boy, look at the splits against lefties right here. 79 stuff, 124 movement, 113 homer rating, 109 pitcher BABIP, 120 on the control. Whoo, but 102 stamina, 99 on the hold runners, fastball, slider, curveball, sinker, splitter combo on this guy. 25 and 13 record in 1966, a 2.75 ERA, 6.1 strikeouts per 9, 1.6 walks per 9, and a 1.31 ERA plus. Paul, if you're, I see you're in the chat. What are his defensive ratings? Because I don't think if I made a slide with his pitching, with his batting ratings, that would show the infield range and stuff like that. So I'm curious as to what his infield fielding ratings are. Very, very curious. Because he has a 128 position rating at pitcher, which really makes a lot of sense for this guy right here. Especially considering, you know, he's been one of the best in the league. 78 range, 74 error, 82 arm, and 87 on the turn double play on the infield. That is dang good for a pitcher right there. Jim Kaat, an all-star in 1966. Obviously, a Gold Glove winner as well. And that was his his fifth straight Gold Glove win in 1966. Finished fifth in American League MVP voting, not 55th. That's just tired dish. Accidentally typing a 5 a couple of times there. Led the American League in wins and walks per 9 and innings pitched and complete games. Dude had 19 complete games during the season. Had 41 games started, which also led Major League Baseball that year. Now, a little bit of an interesting little factoid here about Jim Kaat, because 1966, he won the Sporting News American League Pitcher of the Year, but he did not win the Cy Young Award. He did not even finish in the Cy Young Award because Sandy Koufax won the Cy Young Award that year by a unanimous vote, because 1966 was the last year in which only one award for the Cy Young Award was given for all of Major League Baseball. They did not have separate AL and NL back in those days, which I was shocked to find out, to be quite honest. So you know what? Maybe it was because of Jim Kaat that they split up the AL and NL rewards. Because honestly, this guy, if there had been an AL Cy Young Award winner, this guy would have been it in 1966. Straight up. But you know what? 1966, fantastic year for Jim Kaat. And he is in Perfect Team 24. Awesome, awesome stuff right here for Jim Kaat. All right, folks, we got one more. We got one more for you. And so remember what I said about the Colorado Rockies earlier in the stream when I was talking about Nolan Arenado? Because there have only been, so many good Colorado Rockies players back in the day that you can kind of narrow down who I might be talking about once we get to like 100 level here. All right. So, this is another one of those. Ladies and gentlemen, to close out part 1 of Baseball Reference Series 4, we have possibly the best offensive season in Colorado Rockies history. And we go to the turn of the 21st century. And we go to the guy that is synonymous with the Colorado Rockies. Played with them his whole entire career. And it is first baseman from the 2000 season. It is 100 overall, Todd Helton. 117 BABIP, 112 power, 119 avoid K, 158 contact, 121 gap power, 101 on the eye. Whoo, buddy. Let's just bask in this for a little bit. Let's just bask in this for a little bit. 120 BABIP, 117 power, 120 avoid K, 163 contact, 123 gap, and 100 I against righties. Against lefties, 110 BABIP, 98 power, 116 avoid K, 146 contact, 117 gap, and 104 on the eye. Over defensively at first base, 74 range, 71 error, 77 arm, 74 on the turn, double play. Whoo, buddy. I know I've said that a lot today, but man, oh man, this is probably, right up there with Dan Brothers as one of the best hitting first basemen, if not the best hitting first baseman in the game right now. I mean, if we want to compare to Dan Brothers here a little bit. This is kind of trading eye and speed for power and defense a little bit with Todd Helton. So something to think about if you're comparing Todd Helton to Dan Brothers. Something to think about here. The 2000 season for Todd Helton. Oh my goodness. 372, 463, 698, course. 42 homers, course. 147 RBI, course. And a 163 OPS. Who is saying course? Who is saying course in my stream? Todd Helton was still dang good. He was 5th in National League MVP. He was a Silver Slugger that year. He was an all-star. He led Major League Baseball in average, RBI, doubles, slugging percentage. Led the National League in hits and on base percentage as well. Todd Helton, this dude had 216 hits in the 2000 season. And he was the first player with this season in NL history to have the following stats here. 200 hits, 40 homers, 100 RBI, 100 runs, 100 walks, and by the way, I couldn't fit this in the line, but also with 100 extra base hits. First player to ever do that in National League history. Man. This guy, he good. He good. Todd Helton from the 2000 Colorado Rockies. Those were video game numbers in 2000. Hopefully he'll be putting up some video game numbers for your perfect team in Perfect Team 24. Awesome, awesome stuff right here. Let's talk about now, before we sign off for the day, let's talk about some of the other folks that are in this set. Once again, we have 20 cards in total. Here are the other 10 cards in this set. We have 94 overall Jack Sanford from the 57 Phillies. 92 overall 2009 Oakland A. Andrew Bailey. We have 1966 White Sox Tommy Agee in here as well. Steve Howe from the 1980 LA Dodgers is in here as well. Then we got 1993 New York Yankee Mike Stanley, 77 overall. Then we have Roy Sievers from the 1949 St. Louis Browns, 74 overall card right there. Then we have 72 overall Joe Charbonneau from 1980 Cleveland, 68 overall Dontrell Willis from the 2003 Marlins, 67 overall Earl Williams from the 71 Braves, and 63 overall Harvey Keene from the 1953 Detroit Tigers. So some fun stuff in this set. Ozzie Albies, we got Tommy Agee, Andrew Bailey, Jack Sanford in this set. Then we got Joe Black, Todd Helton, Zach Britton, Jim Cott, Nolan Arenado. Some fun cards at all different levels here today as part of part 1 of Baseball Reference 4. You can find these cards in packs right now because cards are live right now. Happy ripping, folks. Happy ripping. All right, before we sign off for the day, let's give a congratulations to our weekly leaderboard champions for week number 31, the first week of the PTCS 8 qualification period. We have Mandy T and the Madison Moundsman in first place in the Daily Iron with 101 points. Daily Bronze, MJ Tebow and the Madison Mohicans winning the week last week with 145 points. Daily Silvers, A. Progler and the Ninja Black Sox with 103 points. Daily Gold, Surge, 64, and the Chesapeake Woodies with 115 points. Daily Diamond was Admiral Relativity and the Lamarinda Star Crushers with 168 points. Daily Open and Daily Wildcard, both won by Mr. Ree and the Woodmore Fightin' Amish. Congratulations. 107 points in the Open and 92 in the Wildcard. For weekly tournaments, it was Issa Dafo and the Florence Baycats taking home first place last week with 153 points. Holophant and the Fun Society finishing in first in the Perfect Draft Daily realm with 130 points last week. And Perfect Draft Weekly, it was Charlie for Days and the Philadelphia Cross Foxes with 63 points winning the week last week. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to episode number 228 of This Week in Perfect Team for Baseball Reference Series 4. It's been great to have you here today. I will see you back here on Saturday for the 7th Perfect Team Championship Series. It's going to be a great time. Hopefully, you'll be able to tune in. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. I've been DishNet34, Rob Tomlinson, signing out. Have a great day, everybody.